no matter what I was doing, it never felt good enough. I could always, when I was coaching, always watch more film, always spend more time in the gym with the guys, always be moving a needle somehow, and really lost the touch of like taking care of myself and those around me, right? I mean, to the point where like I was suffering from anxiety attacks like weekly, like
Wow.
out of commission. Hey Tim, why are you crying? I was like, I don't know, man. Just let me get through this real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I put, and it's like a surmounting amount of pressure
Really?
to your point earlier, like success. But
Yeah.
like, what does success really look like?
This is the Elevation Room, a space where we unpack life's hardest moments and the impact that they have on our faith, family, and fulfillment. I'm your host, Dustin Lale, and each episode we share real stories of resilience and breakthrough to inspire you to keep moving forward, rooted in your purpose, living on purpose, and walking with purpose. This journey we call life is not meant to be done alone. So click subscribe or the follow button now, settle in, and join us as we go into the Elevation Room. Welcome back to the Elevation Room. I'm excited to be back in the chair with you today and with our guest Timothy. I been a while since we've been in here, so I'm excited to be back here. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, brother.
On
Doing
this
well.
early morning.
Early morning, yeah. So when was that Thursday? You text me saying like, "Hey, 7 a.m." I was like, "Yeah, dude, perfect." And my wife looked at me. She said, "You're crazy." I was like, "Well, I want to be home. Like, I don't want to miss
That's
too
right.
much of the morning. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
We got a
That
birthday party. We're going bowling. We got a day. You know what I
That's
mean?"
exactly right. Same thing for with my wife. I say, hey, look, I'd rather get a Saturday morning in early. That way, we've got the rest of the day with the
Yeah.
family.
And
So
it's not like I'm not already up anyway. You know what I mean?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So if you would, I mean, I'd love to hear. Tell everyone listening, who are you?
Yeah.
Name, you married, kids?
Yeah, man.
What?
So my name's Tim Miguez, Timothy Miguez. My wife Kennedy and I, we just made 10 years together.
Congrats.
No, 10 years. Like we'll be 7 years married in June, but
Okay.
10 years together, which I think I'm 32.
Yeah.
She's 30. So like a third of our life building good things together. That's can't beat that. It's
No.
special, man.
Absolutely.
We got two kids. Bennett is 5. He'll be 6 in April. Eloise is 4, just turned 4. They're 17 months apart.
Okay. Yeah.
And man, pride and joy.
Yeah.
Like my best little friends. They were both up when I left this morning. I made them a bowl of cereal. They're watching Paw Patrol. Like, are you going to
Yep.
work on a Saturday, Dad? It's like, well, kinda.
For fun.
It's for fun, but it's I
Yeah.
won't be home for a little bit. So
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, man. So I'm from Crowley. Went to school there. Moved to Lafayette for college. Was at UL for 5 years.
Okay.
Met my wife there in my 5th year. It took me 5 years to get a general studies degree, but it worked out because I met her.
So you
Um,
really went to school to find her,
so
and you
you,
just kind of went to classes along the way looking for
I
her.
didn't go to a lot of classes, but
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so, like, you hear of, like, young ladies that go to school to get
Husband.
a Mrs. degree, right?
Yes,
I
that's
I
right.
went to get a Mister degree. It didn't work, but I got a good wife out of it, you know what I
There you
mean?
go. There you go.
And then lived in Seattle for a year after college. I had a Bible camp internship and
Okay.
was kinda in a season of life and just trying to figure out what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So did that, and
A
then
Bible camp internship, as in you were there working for a year as you were figuring things out,
yeah, man.
praying, trying to see what's
They
next.
paid us a little bit a month, but we got free room, free food every day, so it was a cool experience. Just a year to be in good community and figure out what is life gonna look like from here on out,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I did that for a year. My wife and I, we were dating at the time. We'd been dating, I guess, for like 5 or 6 months, and we did a year of long distance. She moved to Orlando and did
And you
the
went to Seattle.
and I went to Seattle. She did
Wow.
the, Disney college
Yep.
internship.
I remember sitting in
Yeah,
those meetings in school.
yeah.
Oh, do I want to do this? It sounds so fun.
Well, man, it was crazy because like, we started dating and, like, I graduated, and kinda she was telling me a little bit about it. She's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about this." I was like, "Yeah, you should do it." And she was like, "Well, like, we're getting serious, right?" I was like, "Yeah, but, like, do it," you know? And so, it worked out well, man. We did that for a year. We moved back home, got engaged, got married, had babies quick. You know what
That's
I mean? So
awesome.
no complaints on that.
Yeah.
And
Quick as how long were y'all married?
a night.
And
She might not appreciate me saying that,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it happened on the honeymoon. We went on a
Yeah.
honeymoon a month after we got married, so
Yeah.
we got married in June, had the baby in April.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
do the math. You know
For
what I mean?
sure, for sure. Yeah, that's something we were married 5 years, but
Okay.
my wife was still going through PT school.
Yeah.
When we got married, she was in college for her undergrad.
Okay.
She just finished. It was a big week for her because It was her last ballet performance as
Okay.
a principal ballerina at Lafayette Ballet
Oh,
Theater.
that's awesome.
Finals week and our wedding,
Okay.
pretty much all within a week's time. And then after we married, I was living in Houston. So,
Right.
she made the move also leaving everything she knew to Houston. So,
Yeah.
and then that time she was applying for PT schools and all
Gotcha.
that kind of good stuff. So we waited 5 years
Yeah.
till we had our first one.
I
So,
look, man, it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's not up to us. You know.
That's right.
You
That's
know what I
right.
mean?
So it sounds like, y'all had a great journey together, jumped into the kid scene quickly.
Very quickly.
Has everything been all peachy since then? Have you ever run into a challenge or two?
Oh man, I think we've all had a few challenges.
Yeah.
Man, I think so. Again, so like I guess continuing that, I was
Yeah.
a teacher and a coach.
Yeah.
So I got injured in high school playing sports. I hurt my back, couldn't play anymore. So I started coaching middle school basketball when I was a junior in high school.
Okay. All right.
My dad was a middle school coach in Crowley, where I'm from. I got to go and coach with him. I was also I worked as a student assistant for the university here on the basketball team.
Okay. So it was
Uh,
always basketball?
I coached high school football for 4 years, but
Okay.
basketball was my first love.
Okay.
You
All
know,
right. All right.
so I did that, and when I was in Seattle, I coached out there. Came home, got a job teaching and coaching. Started coaching
Now, was that
basketball.
what you felt like, hey, when you spent that year in Seattle, it was like, hey, what, coaching is where I need to be? Or was it more of, this is what I can do. I move back. Let me do this while I'm still figuring it out.
No, no, it was hands down coaching basketball.
Okay.
But I wanted to. I had really good coaches. My dad was my first coach. Coached me all the way up until high school in every sport that I did. Whether he knew it or not, he figured it out just
Yeah.
because he wanted to be with us in the battle with us. You
Very
know.
cool.
So yeah, there was never any doubt that it was coaching. Just what does that look like? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And how to just kind of use those gifts to make sure I'm doing it the right way and where do I want to do it. Where anyway. So yeah, I got a job teaching and coaching. Was just prepared to live that life. I did it for 5 years at the high school level.
Okay.
Then I got an opportunity to. They opened up a small Christian college in my hometown, back in Crowley. Was a risk. It was a great opportunity for me. I was a head basketball coach, athletic director, college teacher for 2 years.
Was that what, Northside or?
It's just called John Melvin
Okay.
University.
Right.
Small school. Um, they relocated to Florida,
Okay.
but for some reason they put it in Crowley. I was one of the people they reached out to. And again, I knew it was a risk. I knew it was not a traditional path, a startup,
Because it was a small, like I said,
small town.
relocation.
Yeah, man. It was a weird. I guess just a weird situation is the
Okay.
easiest way to put it. But it kind of taught me a little bit back to like that year in Seattle, trying to figure out who am I, what I want to
Yep.
do, how do I want to use these gifts. I think those 2 years were like I guess like the culmination of that. Just the
Okay.
opportunity to really put myself into a challenging. When you're a high school coach, there's obviously lots of challenges, but there's really only you go to class, you go to practice, you do games, and you kind of just go through that. And then you spend the challenging times being with the kids, trying to help them grow, all that. Well, there's no blueprint to starting an athletic department. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Having to hire coaches, having to hire staff, having to figure out in startup school they didn't have their own facilities. But the real challenge came whenever I came home one night and I told my wife, I was like, hey, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Mm.
And I'm expecting this reaction of like, what are you talking about? You're just tired. You're just hungry. You need to go to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I know. I kind of looked at her, I was like, what do you mean you know?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, like it's just, you can tell you're not in it like you've been in it before.
Oh, wow.
And so, man, like cried. Like how
Yeah.
the emotions that you're expecting this, you get this. And we talked before we started this, like when you marry a good woman, like you get
Mm.
surprised daily, but you're more surprised at why you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And dude, we didn't have, again, being a high school teacher and coach, you don't make a lot of money. We were still very young. I mean, I was 30 when this happened. We had two
Yeah.
kids. And she's like, yeah, just quit. Season's over. Just quit.
Yeah.
Like, baby, we got like 3 months of runway. She's like, yeah, we'll be fine. Like, it'll be provided. And dude, so that was like 2 years ago now. Past 2 years have been crazy. And
Yeah.
so, there was a big like grieving period, a mourning period of like, all I've ever known is being a basketball coach from like growing up playing ball to coaching to being a part of so many programs. I mean, like, I did an NBA internship when I was in college. I got to coach in Europe 3 summers ago. Like, I've had some really cool experiences from this game that I love since I was a kid to moving into this isn't gonna be a part of my identity anymore. And
Mm,
you don't realize how much something like that becomes your identity. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Now, how'd you arrive at that point? Where you got to the point to have that conversation with Kennedy of, hey, I don't think I can do this anymore.
I think I was just that's a good question, man. I think it just kinda I knew I wasn't in it anymore. I'm a big believer, like, if I don't do it the right way, then there's no reason to be doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And during that last year, I was missing time with the kids. And I enjoy being a dad. It's my favorite thing in the
Yeah.
world, you know. Very, very blessed to have great kids. And I was going a week or so at a time without seeing them, you know, because I mean, as a coach at a small school, you're driving the bus, you're making the sandwiches, you're
Mm-hmm.
doing the fundraising, you're doing all the logistics, and then you're trying to coach basketball, and then you're trying to also take care of the other coaches because you're the AD. And then you get home at 10, you're back at the gym at 5, and you're like, oh, I kind of forgot to be a dad and husband today. Like, there's no way I can serve you if I'm not here to serve you. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Just the hours weren't making
And
sense.
even when I was home, it was I might be present, but I wasn't present. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I didn't want to do it anymore. And it kind of just it happened quickly, man. Like I kind of just realized one day that I wasn't doing it the right way. I wasn't enjoying it. My heart wasn't in it. And for the kids, my players, I just not doing them a service anymore. You know. So that conversation just kind of happened. I mean, like almost embarrassing to say, but just like it was an emotional reaction to something I didn't realize I was feeling for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, That's what I told her. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
who I am without basketball. Again, I
Wow.
guess 2024 was the first year of my entire life since the third grade that I wasn't on a basketball team in some capacity, which doesn't sound that crazy, but when that's all that you ever know, you know,
Yeah.
again, like not realizing that that's what my identity is being built on and through. And that's a change. It's a challenge,
No
you know?
kidding.
But it's been good since, brother. It really has.
Yeah. So you said you went through like a grieving process,
Yeah.
of coming to the realization, hey, I don't want to do this, Kennedy, surprising you. Like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I know that's fine. We'll be all right. But we say that now, and I know you say that
Excuse me.
now. It's easier to say, but in the
Yeah.
moment, I'm sure it was much more difficult to wrestle through that as to, hey, who am I? What's next? What were some of those conversations as y'all were navigating the next steps and how to untangle where you were with who you were with what y'all were doing next?
Yeah. It was a lot of uncomfortable realizations about myself. Again, kind of back to the point of like, I found too much value in I am a basketball coach. I am
Mm-hmm.
Coach Tim, whatever, you know, realizing like that's not where we should be spending time. I don't want to say not where we should be spending. At that point in our life, having young kids, still being young and married, you know, there are more important things to keep this family together than taking care of other people's kids,
Yeah.
which is a vocation and a service and something that's very important. And we're like I said, very lucky that I had good coaches growing up who truly cared about me and my development personally, not just
Yep.
as an athlete. Um, but at this time in our life, it just didn't make sense anymore. So, like I said, it was a lot of raw conversations, staying up till 2 and 3 in the morning of kind of like, man, we did everything. We did like little career tests, like this is what you enjoy doing. Which, because again, I'd worked a lot of odd jobs in college. I drove buses at the university.
Yeah.
I was a furniture deliverer. I worked at a shoe store. I worked at Academy. I worked at Taco Bell. I would work any job possible
Yeah.
to make
Whatever you
sure I could
could.
pay the bills
Yep.
to coach, right? Um, but I never had a real job, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy to say. But like teaching and coaching is a real job. I never had anything outside of
Outside of that.
education, I guess, you
Yeah.
know. So just figuring out like where the skills that I've accumulated, the things I enjoy doing, what does that look like? You know what I mean? And a lot of conversations too of like what's gonna give you joy. Like a job might not ever give you joy again, like coaching basketball did, but where's that give and take of paying our bills
Yep.
while enjoying what you do, not losing who you are in that, you know? And a lot of prayer, dude. I mean, like
Yeah.
so my wife and I we met in young life in college.
Okay. Yeah.
She did it all through high school, through college. I did it my last year of college. Met her on the first trip that I went on with Young Life, and we've been inseparable since, you know.
Yeah.
And so, kind of realizing that we kind of strayed away from bat, we didn't pray as much as we used to. We weren't going to church as much as we used to. We weren't still believed in it, still, quote unquote, lived it out, but not the way that we should have been. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so, kind of re-identifying where do we want our life to look like? How do we want our kids to be raised? And can we raise them like that with you gone the amount of time that you are? And so, just a lot of, like I said, raw, honest conversations and realizations for both of us.
Yeah.
And again, like you said it too. Like I came home thinking she would be surprised, and she was like, "Yeah, dude. Like, welcome. Glad you realized. Like,
Glad you
I've
joined the
I've
party.
been knowing that
Yeah.
you weren't happy, but I was waiting for you to come to that realization because if I'd have said it, you'd just
Yep.
combat it, you know."
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, man.
That's yeah, I get that. And I think about sometimes you look at different people, different levels of what we would call success or, perceived success, but you look at the fruit of their lives, and it all varies. And I've come to terms, at least for me personally, too, with, 7-year old, a 5-year old, 2-year old, of hey, there are some things that we can absolutely sacrifice for and sacrifice doing, but the kids isn't one of them,
Agreed.
and so I look at some individuals that I know or, close circles to, and I say, okay, they've attained this level of success, but they have no relationship with their kids. Okay, I don't want to imitate that. I see this person, they've attained a certain level of success, but their kids enjoy being around them, want to be with them. They've got a great family. Okay, what are they doing? And not what are they doing now? Because it looks different if your kids are grown and out the house.
Of course.
What were you doing when your kids were 5 years old?
Yeah, because I mean that starts early. You know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so, and I've noticed that it's if I want, like I said, I'm not short on ambition, but those ambitious things have got to come early in the morning or late at night when the kids are sleeping.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And my wife also is very good at, if there's a work function in the evening, hey, totally get it. An occasional work trip, totally get it. But she makes sure to hold me accountable if, hey, I need to go do this and it's, after 5 o'clock or whatever. If that happens more and more, if I'm just in the office because I need to go get something done or chase after something,
Yeah.
okay, hold on a second. What's important,
Yeah.
And and I do the same with her. Um, it looks a little bit different since she, is a physical therapist. She can go to work, and when she comes home, she's home.
Right.
So it's a little bit different. But I think those dynamics of, hey, what's important to you at this stage in life of where the kids are is something that can be easily overlooked, and I understand from anyone's perspective of, hey, I'm doing this for the family. I say that regularly, but then the realization of it's a Saturday, and in my mind, I used to have a challenge with this regularly where we're doing something with the kids on a Saturday, but in my mind, I'm somewhere else. Like, oh, I could be doing this, or I should be working on this, or I need to get this
Did I
done.
respond to this person? Did I set this up? Yeah.
That's
It's never
exactly right.
ending.
Because we do real estate investments, and so that's outside of a W-2 job, and
Right.
so I already have to do that outside of those hours. So like Saturday, I'm like, oh, I need to really catch up on this, or I need to get this stuff done for taxes, or whatever the case may be. And again, that's fine on occasion, but if it becomes a habit, that's where it really becomes an issue, and then you lose that connection with the kids just because you're simply not there.
Well, the thing is too, I had so a guy that I've coached with, and I love to make fun of him. He's an older guy. I think he's early 60s. Whenever
Okay.
I started coaching, he's like, "Yeah, man, I've been coaching longer than you've been alive." And he used to always call me a pup, and
Okay.
it used to make me mad. I thought he was kind of being not mean, but just a little too sarcastic for my
Yeah.
liking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he goes, "No, Tim, like you just like you're too hard on yourself. Like you're doing a good job. You've created this family that wants you home. So why aren't you home?"
Mm.
Like, there's a lot of guys out there whose families like, "Ah, finally, dad went to work." Like he's
Yeah.
out there. I was like, I don't want that, dude. Like again, this morning my kids were watching Paw Patrol. I made them cereal. They're like, "Wait, you're leaving?"
All
I was
right.
like, "I'll be back. I'm
Yeah.
coming back quicker than usual." They don't understand that they're 5 and 4,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
that to your point, like that idea of like you create the family that you want because like my little boy's only gonna be 5 for so long. He's only gonna let me hold him for so
I
long.
know.
Like I fell asleep on the couch with my little girl. One of my best friends was over eating dinner with me and my wife.
Yeah.
Where her and I are sitting on little girl sitting right here, my wife sitting there, my buddy sitting here. Fell asleep. Me and my daughter both fell asleep hanging out with a friend because like that's just it's cozy, it's comfortable,
Yeah.
it's, and so how long is she gonna wanna fall asleep on dad's chest? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so you can't not
Yeah.
be there when those opportunities, then again, like, may not seem like a big deal to anyone who's not a dad. They may not understand that with
Mhm.
a little girl. My little boy at 6 o'clock when he woke up this morning, he's like, "Hey, dad, can we go throw the football outside?"
Yeah.
They were like, "We can, but I don't think you'll be able to see it." And so like
Yeah.
those things of you hear guys who have created these huge successful businesses, done very well in life, like to your point of like whether it's like real estate investments, building their own business, or just providing for their family in that sense, which is a sacrifice in a way that
Yep.
I just realized I don't wanna say not willing to lose my family for the sense of extra dollars.
All right.
Obviously, we have bills to pay, we have things that we wanna do in life, but my little boy, little girl only be 5 and 4 for so long and only
Yeah.
wanna hang out with dad at 6 in the morning for so long, and
Yeah.
just kinda to that point of, like, coaching, I realized, and again, my friend Rocky, he's a baseball coach. He kinda say he my one of my biggest prayers in the past 4 years of knowing Rocky is, like, I want the discernment that Rocky has.
Mm.
He has a way of just, like, seeing things clearly that, it's been unmatched in my life, to be
Wow.
honest, and, he's one of those people who I can call at 11:30 at night, one of those nights you understand, where you're sitting there like, "How are we gonna make this happen? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna provide here, do this, and still be home?" And he's like, "Well, you're thinking about it the wrong way, dude. Go get some rest, and you'll probably feel better in the morning, and you'll be able to clearly think." And he always has the right verse to bring up at the right time, always has the right thought, always has the, "Hey, man, quit being so hard on yourself." And it's one of those things that I've tried to take into, like, working now, working in sales of, like, being you're in sales, dude, there's always something we could be doing to moving a potential deal for this client, for the company,
Yep.
to the point of, like, you kinda forget sometimes, like, "Oh, I do have to turn it off at some point.
Mhm.
I do have to be home,
Yep.
present in my presence," kinda thing. But it is hard, especially because we're both young guys, like, trying to I don't wanna work till I'm 80. I
Mhm.
wanna make sure that we're putting things away and doing things we're supposed to do, but also giving the kids the life that we might not have had growing up and opportunities we might not have had. It's a challenge sometimes,
Oh yeah. I
man.
mean, that's the journey.
It
That's the
is.
growth, the uncomfortableness, if you
Yeah.
will. So let me get back a little bit as y'all were navigating that, praying through it. How'd you end up in sales? You just mentioned that. How'd y'all
Yeah.
decide to make that step, and that was the right direction that y'all wanted to go?
So, I was very blessed. I was working 2 part-time jobs
Okay.
while we were trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
What part of town are y'all in? Are y'all
We
in
live in
Lafayette?
Dusal.
Dusau. Okay.
Yeah, so we bought a house there. Dude, we bought a house in April of 19, married in June of 19,
Okay.
pregnant July of 19, had our little boy April 2020 in the midst of COVID and all that
Yeah.
craziness.
Yeah.
So we've been in Dusal going on almost 7 years
Okay.
now. So I got 2 part-time jobs. A guy I go to church with owns a mechanic shop. He needed like a front desk worker, 5 hours a day, whatever. Like, cool, got it. And then I worked at Train Unique with Damon Vincent part-time, running they train. Dude, if you haven't had Damon on here,
Damon Vincent. It sounds so familiar.
I think Damon's in Sweden right now, putting
Okay.
on a conference for adaptive athletes. So
Okay.
they train the special need population of like athletes. Dude, it's
Really?
the coolest space I've ever been in.
Is
Uh,
he in like martial arts world at
yeah,
all?
so pretty sure Damon's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He
Okay,
was a
that might be where
pro
I know him
MMA fighter
from
here in
Aaron
town.
at Head Kicks,
Yeah,
maybe.
that makes
That's probably
sense.
why I know his
Yeah.
name. Okay.
So yeah, Train Unique sits in the Gladiator Gym. They
Okay,
share
yep.
that
I
space.
know who you're
Yeah.
talking about now.
Yeah, Damon would be a guy to have on here.
Yeah,
I got
I'd
you,
love
bro.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Appreciate it, Damon. You coming next.
well, I mean, Aaron's on here, and it just
Yep.
makes sense. Yeah. And very blessed that I reached out to him, like kind of explaining some of the things that I've been trying to do when I was coaching. And I mean, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 classes a week, but it was a couple dollars in my pocket at a
Yeah.
time that I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then, man, there's a guy who owns an insurance agency near my house that I met when I was coaching. He had sponsored a few events and kind of called him one day and said, "Look, man, I don't know what I want to do, but I need a job." He said, "Yeah, come on over, we'll talk."
Yeah.
Sat with him for an hour or two. Next day, started selling insurance and
Oh, really?
realized that, like, I, the skill, again, back to that point, the skills I created coaching, building relationships with people, maintaining those relationships, it just kind of made sense. So I was
What kind
able
of insurance? Just because I'm in that
Yeah,
world. What?
PNC mainly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PNC and then a little bit of life insurance.
Okay.
But
Very cool.
I was not created to sit in an office 8 to 5.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. Dude, I loved working for him. The team he had was fantastic. It just it wasn't for me long term. Like I said, I was happy there, but then I got opportunity. I worked at S1
Okay.
Technology here in town with Hunter
How'd
Davis.
that come about?
I remember how it actually came about, man. I think I reached out to Hunter on LinkedIn one day
Okay.
just to like connect, and he asked me to come in, sit down with them, and
Yeah.
I mean they're good people, man.
Yeah.
They have a good machine that they're running over there. They treat people the right way. But then I actually just started a new job. Just finished up week 3, selling an educational technology product that I used when I was in the classroom.
Yeah.
Get to work from home, hang out with my wife. We eat
Yeah.
lunch together every day the past 3 weeks. Like that's
Yeah.
again kind of that idea of I get to work, but I also get to be home and
Yeah.
do things throughout the day that set the family up a little bit
Yeah.
better
And
for
what does
success.
Kennedy do for work?
Kennedy works remote. She's been remote, man, like for 4 years. She works for a baby gear company
Oh,
called
okay.
Mockingbird. So like
Okay. Yep.
strollers
That's.
and
Oh
bassinets
yeah.
and
We know about
oh
Mockingbird.
yeah. So we were customers first, and then
Okay.
he was running a nonprofit at one point, and kind of just wanted to get a different kind of job. And did she apply? She beat out like a ton of people. The company's fantastic. They treat her so well. She's never once thought about leaving them because they have such a good team dynamic.
Oh,
They
that's
take care
cool.
of each other. And so she's done that, like I said, coming on 4 years. Um, I don't know how much she loves me working from home.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
was gonna ask how's that dynamic, because from a family perspective, I know at times it's hard for me to work from home, even though that's mostly where I work from. But we just moved into a new home. The previous home, I didn't have an office, so
Yeah.
my desk was in the bedroom, which everyone's around, in and out. And so now the new house, we've got an office
Okay.
set up, which, so Monday I'll get to, for the first time, kind of start seeing what it's
There you go.
like in the office. Last night, Bethany was asking me, so are you actually going to get to like be home more? I said,
Yeah.
I think so. I don't see any other reason. I said, I'm
I've
sure
got a space
occasionally,
now. Yeah.
yeah, occasionally I'll probably go to a coffee shop just to go, but I mean now with the space, I should be able to be home more. Which
Right.
she's home 3 days a week with the kids, so to be lunches together
Yeah.
a little bit more advantageous like that.
Right.
But sometimes if two people are working from home, I mean it could be awesome or it could not be awesome. Also,
I mean, so we've only done it for 3 weeks. So, the testing pool is very
yeah,
small.
yeah, yeah.
I do think that my wife probably enjoyed her alone time just
Okay,
because it's what she got used to and stuff. But so far, it's been good.
yeah.
We've done a pretty good job of like, hey, I've got this meeting. Do you mind going in the other room or do I need to go in the other room? And man, it's just one of those things. It's
Oh
communication.
yeah,
You
for
know what I
sure.
mean?
And are y'all kids in school or do
Yeah.
y'all keep them at home?
So our kids
Okay,
go to school here. They're in the French immersion program
okay,
in
yeah,
Lafayette Parish,
okay.
kindergarten and pre-K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they go off to school, and then y'all
So
are
it's just
home
the
to
two of
work.
us at home until about 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I said we've so far it's been good. So far we've been able
Yeah.
to keep the peace. You know what
That's
I mean?
good. Hey, I mean that's a blessing.
It is, man. It
For
is.
sure.
Like I said, dude, the opportunity to yesterday morning, I could tell that she was hungry. I made her a bagel, like small, but again, it's a small act of service that I'm now able to
Absolutely.
provide. Whereas used to, it was like, hey, sorry, we have a 8 o'clock meeting. I'm gonna have to leave at 6:30 to go make sure I'm set up. So you're gonna get the kids ready by yourself.
Ah,
You're also
yes.
gonna bring them to school, and you're probably gonna have to pick them up because we're gonna have to do this afternoon. Which again is
Gotcha.
one of those reasons why I got out of coaching was to be more present. But then, just because of the nature of the beast, it got to the point of not being able to be at home as much as I wanted. Like you said, there's always an after work event,
Yeah,
and being in sales, like you never want to miss the opportunity to meet the right person and
that's right.
make something happen. So far 3 weeks in, home every day. There's
Yeah,
still some after work activities just because I enjoy the community involvement side
of
of it.
course.
But so far it's been
Yep,
I've
and
enjoyed it.
the community involvement that we have at Acadiana a lot of times leads to different family events as well, where the
Of
kids
course.
can be involved and our spouses
Yeah,
and stuff.
I think, and that's one thing we take a lot of pride in. So we bring our kids whatever room we're in. If you're inviting me, then you're inviting my family as well.
Awesome.
Like it's a non-negotiable at this point. I bring my little boy to UL We're going to the UL basketball game today. Like
That's something sorry to interrupt. That's something
yeah,
Bethany and I have talked about. We need to go to more UL sporting events. By
yeah,
more, I mean any, because we do not participate in any. We're like, why not? Go to
yeah,
more LSU things. That's my alma mater. But
right.
for the kids, it's so
It's just
easy
right
just to
here.
go down the street.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like, why aren't we doing
We
this?
haven't been to a football game yet, but again, like basketball being my love, I think Bennett, my little boy, has come to probably 4 or 5 games this year with
Okay.
me, and he loves it.
Yeah,
Now, he also loves the fact that he gets like popcorn
of course.
and nachos and a candy and a Powerade. But and again, it's just one of those things, man, that we try really hard to make sure that the kids are included
Yeah.
to see what life looks like. And well, they're still young, but I think it's important for them to see that Like, it's not just what can you do for me? What can I do for you? What can I
Yeah.
do for our community? How can we lend that helping hand? Whatever that may look like. We're really big on making sure they understand that like we have to serve. We are stewards of the time and resources and blessings that we've been given,
Oh,
but they're not ours to keep. We have to pay those forward. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree. Well, man, I appreciate you sharing all that with us.
Yeah, brother.
I'd like to move us into the ABCs of the elevation room.
All right.
First like to start with advice for your younger self,
Yeah.
gone through where you're at now, obviously the coaching journey, making the move to sales. What's some advice you would give to either your younger self or people in similar situations as you were in?
Man, one thing that I struggled with, I say I struggled, something I still struggle with, is putting unnecessary pressure on everything that I did.
Uh,
Like, no matter what I was doing, it never felt good enough. I could always, when I was coaching, always watch more film, always spend more time in the gym with the guys, always be moving a needle somehow, and really lost the touch of like taking care of myself and those around me, right?
mm,
I mean, to the point where like I was suffering from anxiety attacks like weekly, like
wow.
out of commission. Hey Tim, why are you crying? I was like, I don't know, man. Just let me get through this real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just because I put, and it's like a surmounting amount of pressure
really.
to your point earlier, like success. But
Yeah.
like, what does success really look like? And it's one of those things. Again, my friend Rocky, one day he told me like, Tim, what works for you doesn't work for me. I was like, well, yeah, Rocky, you're 30 something years older. And he's like, no, 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 like, like you, young guy, one of your friends, like it's like you and I are sitting right here. So the way that you read and learn, the way you do it may not be right for me. The way that you cook your food may not be the way I cook it. There's so many different examples there, but like the one truth that is like true throughout the board is like the Bible and the
Yep.
truth of the word, right? That's what he said. Like you're worried about all the wrong things. He's like, when's the last time you like took a minute to actually sit down and read? I was like, well, I'll listen to. It's like, no, no, no. When were you intentional about sitting here and like taking care of yourself and relieving some of that pressure? When's the last time you were able to sit down and not think about what are you doing for work? And so like back to that point of like nothing is as serious as you think that it is.
Mm,
Like nobody cares what you are doing in the sense of like no one when you're in the gym, nobody's looking at you doing your
right.
workout, right? No one's worried about what you're doing. So quit worrying about all of that. Just do what you
Yeah.
think is the next best step and just continue putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back, I wish that I would have not been so stressed and worried and took a little bit better care of myself and those around me,
Hmm.
because I spent the past 2 or 3 years since leaving coaching, kind of mending friendships that like, I mean, one of my best friends, we didn't talk, and for no reason except that he would call and like, "Hey man, like I'd love to talk, but I'm walking into the gym. I'm going to watch this kid play. I have a training session later to make a few extra dollars." And it got to the point where I didn't see him for like 2 years.
Yeah.
My son's godfather, and like we just didn't get to talk a whole lot. So it's like this idea, and not that there, from his perspective, there was nothing that needed to be mended. He knew that I was trying to do something, but it's just that idea of like we used to spend real life together, and I haven't seen you in 2 years. Like that's a shame. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But again, from that pressure I was putting on myself, and this idea of like I've got to do this, this, and this, when really it's not ours to do that with.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's the advice is like don't take yourself too serious. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Everything's gonna work out the way
Yep.
it's supposed to.
Yeah, and I guess that goes back into what you were mentioning about your identity being wrapped up in coaching as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure, and correct me if I'm
No,
wrong,
you're
but
spot on,
I know
brother.
this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. I've heard a lot of, whatever self help and,
Yep.
people that coach people of like, oh, well, don't say you're like when I was doing Ironman, training for an Ironman, said, don't say you're training for an Ironman. Say you are an Ironman. You are a triathlete, whatever. You are, an athlete. You are healthy, whatever the thing you're working to do.
Yep.
Like, hey, if you're wanting to learn to play basketball, say, no, I am a basketball player. Some of these, linguistic things, but all wrapped around changing your dialogue to match up with the identity you're trying to
Correct.
grow into
Yep.
versus, you know, again, what does success look like and what are we striving to? Like, I am a husband, I
Yep.
am a father, and yeah, I do these things, but this is who I am.
Well, and then one of the things I'm big on is like those titles that we wear: husband, father, brother, son, friend, professional. They're all synonymous, man. Like if we're failing, if I'm not there for my family and doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm probably failing in other aspects of
Right.
life as well.
Yep.
Because whenever we're like to your point of like we are professionals and we care about our job, but if we care too much, like those buckets, right? If this bucket is full, what's taken out of one of these other ones, and I'm not providing where I need to provide. One of the things my dad told me whenever I was told, I called him because my dad's been an educator, and my mom, dad, and stepmom are all educators.
Oh, wow.
My little brother is in his first year of teaching right now. I get out, he gets in, kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know. And then when I called my dad and I told him like, "Hey, Pop, I keep stepping away from the mic. I'm sorry."
Oh, it's all good.
Said, "Pop, I think I'm quitting teaching and coaching." He's like, "Really? Why?" I was like, "Well, I kind of started going through that." He goes, "What's like?" And the kind of the issue, the thing I told you earlier. He's like, "Well, that's not a why, Timothy. Like, what are you talking about?" Like, "Well, Dad, now I don't understand what you're talking about." He goes, "Like, you have to figure out what your why is in life." And I kind of look like, "Dad, like, I'm we're not on the same page here. Can you like help a dummy out? Like, what are you talking about, dude?" Um, He said, like, nothing in here is black and white. Like, you're thinking that since A happened, B now must happen. And that's not how it works. He's like, it's all gray decisions. You make a decision and you make that the best decision. So, like, if you're wise because you want to be home with more with the family and you want to be more present when you are home, then just get a job that allows you to do that. That may not be like the job itself may not be super important, but if it provides, you can pay your bills and you can be home, then you just make that the best decision until the next best thing comes along.
Yeah.
So it's just
Such
that
good advice.
Man, it's simple, right? It's one of the things you're like, well, yeah, of course I already knew that, but the way you said it, and
Yeah.
something about that old man wisdom.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I like that. Hey, look, every decision is a great decision.
You just
Make
have
it
to
the
make
best
it that.
decision.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that like where do you put your energy into kind
Yep.
of thing, And so all of that I guess kind of encompasses that advice of like don't take it too serious. The decisions you make, just make them the right decision. If you don't want to do this anymore and you want to do this instead, just make that the right thing for you until it's not, and you find the next thing that is going to work for you and your family and where you are in life, like to that
Yeah.
different season of life, I guess.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good
man.
advice there.
Hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
worked so far. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
dude, I love it. So this one I'm excited about because you are an avid
I
reader.
am.
Books that have made the greatest impact on your life, and set for everyone the stage of how many books you read,
Yeah,
how much you enjoy reading, all that kind
bro.
of good stuff.
I'm a nerd. My wife and I, we cleaned out the garage earlier a couple weeks ago, and had like 5 or 6 or 7 big plastic totes of books.
Yeah,
And we donate books all the time, but it's like these are books like I don't want to get rid of this. Like Bennett might want to read this one day, and
yeah.
so like probably hold on to too many of them. That's like the only thing we really hoard.
So I take from that you're a physical book reader, not so much a Kindle.
My wife and I, we share a Kindle.
Okay,
I've used it. I can't do audiobooks. I actually just finished my first I've done 2 audiobooks
okay,
ever. Green Lights by Matthew
okay.
McConaughey because, like, he narrates it, so, like,
Yeah,
easy to listen to.
right.
And then I just finished one about a week ago, it's called Outwitting the Devil,
Oh yeah, I
Napoleon
read that
Hill.
one. I have it.
Ooh, man, scary,
Uh,
heavy.
I can't imagine the audio version of that one,
Dude,
but
it's the way they narrate it. I mean, they set it up as the interview, and, like,
yeah,
it is
two different
2
voices.
different voices, and you can tell which
Oh,
one is which, you know what I mean? I
wow.
don't wanna give any spoilers, but I turned it on. I was out on a walk early morning, turned it on, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not
Not
ready
ready
for
for
this
this?
yet. Like it's
Yeah.
too early. I haven't had coffee yet. I'm
Yeah.
not ready to battle this one yet." But it's one of those things, man. I kind of pushed it. And I'm just not an audiobook guy. I wish I
Yeah.
was because I understand why people.
Yeah.
I love a book, dude. Like I said, my
I'm the
parents
same.
being educators, I just grew up. And dude, my mom was reading Harry Potter to me when I was in like first and second grade,
Okay.
laying in bed holding the book. It's tough to beat it, man.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I'm driving, I'll do podcasts all day. So I could
same.
really tear through some audiobooks if I'm, but I'm like you. I
Yeah.
just absolutely prefer a physical copy of a book.
Well, and dude, like, I mean, this is gonna sound so cheesy, and like, I'll probably get made fun of for this one by the wife, but like, especially if like we buy a lot of used books too,
Okay.
and so like some people might have written in them. You can just tell that it's been held and it's worn and weathered and stuff. And
Yeah.
like, it's just cool, man. Like other people have enjoyed this. Now
Yeah.
I get to enjoy the same story,
Very
pass
cool.
it on to somebody else. You know what I
Very
mean? I'm
cool.
really big on like sharing books. Like I've got my own personal library.
Yeah.
There's a handful of books that I would expect back if I loaned them out, but there's also a bunch of books that I just buy multiple copies because I know that I want to give these to people.
Okay.
Like when I was a teacher, I used to always have multiple copies of Love Does by Bob
Okay.
Goff.
Yep.
If you haven't read it, it's a good
I
one.
haven't read it, but I've heard of
Man, it's
it.
probably 100 pages. He's like got a cool story. He's a lawyer. His office used to be at Peter Pan Island, I think
Okay.
is what it was, in Disneyland. Like that's where he would go sit to do. I think it's Peter Pan. My wife's gonna be
Okay.
really mad if I mess that one up. Um, it's just like how we overcomplicate life in the Bible, and like love is what it's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
So I used to just keep multiple copies of that because I wanted, if a kid ever like picks up, like, oh, what is this, coach? It's like, take it, it's yours. Like I
Yeah.
want you to read it. Let me know how it goes. And
Yeah.
kind of the same thing now. Like anytime a buddy's like, "Oh, what should I read?" Like, "Hey, have you read this?" "No." "Here's your copy." I mean,
Yeah.
right now we probably have 3, 4, 5 copies sitting on the bookshelf, just waiting for the next
Gotcha.
person that we give it to. That's definitely one of the books in the past handful of years
Love
that
does.
has really impacted not just our faith, but like our family dynamic, our
Yeah.
friends, and how we are good stewards of what we've been given and love others through that. You know what I mean? Unreasonable Hospitality. Will, I don't know how to say his last name. Guidara, I think.
Okay.
Guidara. He was a restaurant guy, 11th Madison Park in New York.
Yeah.
And he has like a TED talk that he did where he tells a story of he was overhearing these people talking about this big list of fine dining establishments that they've been to, and 11th Madison Park was the last one that they were going to. And either like the mom or the dad's like, yeah, but you know what we didn't get in New York? We didn't get like the traditional New York hot dog stand. That's the only food experience we didn't get. And like he said, like this thing clicks in his brain where he's like, he took off running to a hot dog court, bought a couple of hot dogs, brought them back to the kitchen and like chefed them up a little bit, but he like served it to them. And they're like, blown away because like they didn't order it, they didn't tell him, he just overheard.
Yeah.
And it's this idea that he had, and he told his team like, "There's nothing off limits. If this makes our clients um, experience better, whatever it is." And he tells a story of like, he one of his servers overheard that they didn't get to go to, they've never seen snow in Central Park, so they got an Uber to come pick these people up and bring them to the park, and they ate in the park, and like all these different cool things that like
Oh,
he
very cool.
challenged his team to how unreasonable can we get with what we do,
Oh, wow.
you know, to like make that a better experience. And he's like, you know, it cost us money in some aspects, but we gained so much more from it. And so like kind of that idea of like, what else can I do for you kind of thing, which I
Yeah.
think is so special and so fun. Um, kind of put me. So yeah, you asked me to set the stage. I didn't do that. I kind of skipped into it.
No, I love it.
Last year, I think I read 66 books. I think was the
Wow.
number. This year, I just finished book 8 earlier this week. I'm currently reading the Throne of Glass series.
Okay.
Again, my wife's a big reader. She goes to book club every week. Um, and so she was like in love with this series. I enjoy reading fantasy books too. I
Okay.
enjoy a good story. You know, the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson.
Okay. I'm pretty much only a nonfiction reader, so I
Okay,
have. If you mention any fiction series, I will have no idea what
gotcha.
you're talking
If you
about.
ever
Most
want to get
likely.
into it, it's
Okay.
called Mistborn. It's 3 books. I mean, he's written like 12 in the series, but those
Okay.
3 books, they are up there being one of the best series of books I've ever read.
Oh, wow.
Um, So I read that. My wife saw on Instagram where this author that she likes was talking about how similar that series is to this Throne of Glass series that she had read. And so she's been trying to get me to read it. And I was like, baby, like, I know what kind of books you like. I'm not going to
I'm
enjoy
not.
that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's actually been fantastic. I'm on like the 3rd book, I think, of the series. I
Okay.
started them earlier this week and they're good, man.
Nice.
So I always try to read one fantasy and one business, self help, psychology, something book.
Okay.
So I'm reading a book. It's called, what's it called? It's called Make It Snow. So
Okay.
Snowflake is like a big tech company, and it's a chief revenue officer, chief marketing officer. They co-wrote it together just about how they're the 2 longest running execs at this company. They've been there for like 20 plus years, and how their
Oh, wow.
relationship has worked to grow the company and stuff. So I've got that one right now. I just reread Never Split the Difference, Chris
Yep.
Voss, the FBI
Oh, yeah.
negotiator. Um, and I'm trying to think. There's so many books that I've read this past year. I'm really big into Eric Larson. He
Okay.
writes it's not fiction, but it's historical nonfiction, but it's like different perspectives of different big events that have
Right.
happened. So like there's one Devil in the White City. It's about like the World Fair that was hosted in Chicago and like the underlying things that had happened there. He has one called, I can't
I
remember
think
the
I
name.
remember you did a LinkedIn post on that one,
I
didn't you?
did, yeah.
Yeah.
I did one about, he has one about Fort Sumter
Okay.
in the war, and kind of like the different stories. So again, like we went to class and like we know the story of the war and stuff, but it's like the different things that aren't necessarily shared in the textbook, and he writes good stories about
Okay.
those. He has one about Nazi Germany. I'm trying to think. He has a few. The past year, I read a book called Boys in the Boat, which is really good.
Okay.
They made a movie, I think. I'm never a fan of the movie. I'd always rather the
Yeah.
book, you know.
Yeah.
It's about the Harvard rowing team back in the early
Okay.
1900s and some of the battles of the guys, how they got there, how they lived their life, all this stuff.
How do you decide what book to read next?
My wife always has a recommendation. I got a couple buddies who are also really big readers that
Okay.
we kind of go back and forth. And then my dad, again, I love my dad so much. I'm gonna send him this. I'm sorry, Pop, but like he's a nerd. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a robotics teacher. So my dad he was a science teacher. He taught me and all my friends growing up. And now he teaches robotics and STEM. His robotics team travels the country.
Oh,
They've
that's
been in
awesome.
national championships and stuff. So like kind of back to the idea we talked about earlier, like watching my dad pour into kids and my mom as a teacher pouring into her kids growing up made me want to be an educator.
Yeah.
Just come to realize it just didn't work for me the way it worked for them. But my dad reads a lot, dude. Like
Okay.
whenever my wife and I first started dating, I don't even know if he knows this story. This is gonna be really funny when he sees it. We go to his house. He went grab something out the other room, and so she grabbed the book that was on his little by his chair. And it's like how coffee, like the story of how coffee was brewed from like
Okay.
the 800s to now or whatever, and like thick book, and like it looks like a coffee table book that would just sit there, but he
Yeah.
was reading it, and she was like, "What the hell is he reading, dude?" And I was like, "That's just what he does, man." So like the Boys in the Boat book my dad gave to me.
Okay.
So he has a huge library where I'm always able to like, "Hey, Pop,
Kind of.
what you been reading lately?" And
Yeah.
he'll,
Yeah.
"Well, this is about this. I really enjoyed it. This was about whatever. I didn't really love it because the author talked too much about." So he gives me kind of like a little rundown of
Oh, very
what he
cool.
thinks I'd enjoy. Um,
Does he
you
have
know,
like a library, and do y'all have like a library case, or is it just a bookcase? How do
so
y'all?
so my dad's a middle school teacher, but he also has a woodworking shop. So like
Okay.
anything that they need in their house, he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna." He woke up one day and just decided he was gonna learn how to build cool
Yeah.
stuff, and so
Yeah.
like he built a bookshelf in his room. And I'm pretty sure he's gotten rid of a lot of books lately just for, like, kinda what we just did, like,
Right.
space sake, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because like, it's very
Absolutely.
easy to, like,
Oh yeah.
so, like, if this was our bedroom, we have 3 bookshelves right here, and they're full. I mean, like, I'm talking about you pull one out, the whole thing might kinda fall. But then we also have a box on the ground full of books. I
Yeah.
probably have 10 to 15 books on my nightstand. My wife probably has a few more than that. Um but yeah, and so we buy a lot of books off of thrift books.
Okay.
It's like when libraries close down, this place buys out all the
Oh.
books, so you can
Okay.
buy books for like $3 or $4 at a time.
Yeah.
So my wife, my dad, and I all share a thrift books account, so I can also go see like, hey, has Pop bought this yet? Oh, he has. Cool. I don't have to buy it. Like I can go grab it.
Gotcha.
Um, and then also just like we go to local bookstores and just ask people there, like, hey, look, I like this. What would you suggest reading?
Yeah.
What, like, what's come out lately that you think I might like? And then also just like different. Like I read a lot of leadership books,
Yeah.
a lot of coaching books. So like John Wooden is one of my
Yeah.
favorite coaches of all time. Even people who don't know athletics or in coaching know who John Wooden was. You know what I
Oh.
mean? And he's at the point now where now his players are like writing books about him, even though
Oh,
he's not
very cool.
alive anymore.
Yeah.
So anything like John Wooden, Coach K. I like Mike Leach. I know he passed away a
Yeah.
few years ago, but he has a book called Swing Your Sword that I think is a good one to kind of. It's a leadership book, but it's kind of what we talked about earlier, like swing your sword. Like you do what you do, and you make it work for you,
Yeah.
and everything else will fall in line, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Um, I just got a book in the mail. I'm trying to remember the name right now. It's sitting on my desk in the talking about desk in my office. I put a desk in the corner
Nice.
of the bedroom. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I get that.
Um, damn, I can't remember the name of it right now.
So, but you said love does unreasonable
Those
hospitality.
are
If you
probably
had to pick one more that you like, you said, "Hey, this will change the course of my life," or made the biggest impression. What would you say?
a little cheesy. A friend of mine referred a book to me about 6 months ago. Kind of told him some of the struggle that I've been going with, just personal life stuff. And then, when's the last time you read a devotional, like
Uh,
in your quiet time? I was like, man, it's been a while. Like I read my Bible, a proverb a day, psalm a day,
yeah.
wherever I am in my reading. But it's been a while since I kind of read it. So it's called Draw the Circle, Draw a Circle.
Okay, I haven't heard of
Of
that one.
course, I'm gonna mess up the name, and I'm saying it's a book that's important, but it's right there on my desk in my Bible. I read it every morning. Essentially, it's just this idea of like you've got to create your own space to draw a circle around where you are in the room. Only the stuff in that circle matters at this moment. Where are your thoughts? Where are you putting your stuff? And it's
Mm.
been kind of changed the way that like my prayer life and reading time in the morning has
Oh,
like
nice.
impacted me. So I feel like I haven't finished it, so I
Yeah.
feel kind of cheap throwing that one in there right now. But it has been up to this point. It's been very good. As far as like an actual book, dude, the Game of Thrones series of books,
Okay.
they're not finished. They're some of the best written books I've ever. And I read all the books before I ever watched the TV show. And I
Okay.
made that up. Like I remember reading some of them early in college as like Game of Thrones was coming out. But they are some of the best stories, some of the best world building. Have you seen the TV show?
Uh-uh.
So I mean, people, it's a fantastic show. The books are way better. But again, I feel kind of cheap throwing a series in there. You asked for a
Yeah.
book.
No, it's all good.
Dude, you know what was a good one? A guy named Jesse Cole. He's the
Okay.
owner of the Savannah
Yeah.
Bananas.
Savannah bananas.
Um, Find Your Yellow Tux is
Yeah.
the name of his book.
Yeah.
And it's just the idea of kind of what we've been talking about, like what works for you. Like he wears a yellow tuxedo every day for the Savannah Banana games. 'Cause like that's his way of sticking out. That's his way. So like, what is your calling card? What are people going to remember you for? It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be as cheesy as a
A
yellow
yellow tux.
tux or whatever it is. But like when you leave a room, what are people talking about?
Yeah.
When they talk about Dustin, whenever he leaves the room, when I leave this room, what are you saying about me? How do you leave an impact on people?
Yeah.
Whether that's a sit down conversation like this or like a quick handshake at a networking event. Like,
Yeah.
how are people remembering you? Like,
Yeah.
what's your legacy in that
Very
sense? I think
cool.
it's a cool idea.
I've looked at that one and almost bought it several times.
I
So
got a copy for you,
yep,
brother.
there you go. There you go. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
So
man.
then the last C, the ABCs, is cherished family traditions that
I'm,
you either
I'm pulling my notes up.
no good have with your family now, or maybe something from your childhood,
Yeah.
whatever you think that you cherish.
And so you sent me that the other day when I asked, and I looked at my wife. I was like, "We don't really have like family traditions." And she kind of looked at me and said, "What are you talking about, dude?" And I just don't think of these as traditions.
Yeah.
I guess yet when I think of tradition, I think of what did we used to do. But like my kids are young, we're building our traditions
Right.
right now.
That's right.
So like every Sunday we go to church. We get church. We call it church and donuts. We go to get donuts with the kids first to get some donut holes, and then we go
Yeah.
to church. Now my kids don't know that like you can just go to church. It's church and donuts,
Yeah. Yeah.
we've done that since they were like babies. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And that's like I didn't realize until she kind of pointed out like how much that means to us. Like again, it's silly, it's whatever,
That
but the
is,
kids
yeah.
get so excited to go to church, and donuts probably the sugar rush has a little bit to do with it. But like
Yeah.
they love church so much, and I just think it's a good way to like start our day of like it's the four of us, phones stay in the car,
Yeah.
we're eating donuts, we're being silly. My little girl, sorry, Eloise, she gets like a big old chocolate mustache because she throws it back like that. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So we have that. We have, man, something my wife, I think it's the coolest thing that she's done as a parent. She's done a lot of cool stuff. This is hands down the best thing. Every morning, both the kids, when she's like getting them ready for school, she's braiding Eloise's hair, brushing Bennett's hair in the mirror. We do a daily affirmation.
Mm.
And something and they repeat after her: I am brave, I am strong, I am kind, I love my family, and I'm going to have a great day
Oh, that's
every
awesome.
morning. And so we have videos of the kids like when they're like, a year and a half. I am brave. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like again, something small and cheesy, but like they go to school, they start their day with believing that they are brave, that they can be kind, that they are smart.
Yeah.
Life is hard. They're gonna have a tough time in school. Something's going to happen, but they're gonna have these affirmations that they do. And dude, we don't miss a day. We do it every. If we forget, we might have slept late. We're running late. We're running out the door, and Bennett's going, affirmations. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, dude, hurry up, let's do these.
Yeah.
And you kind of catch yourself like trying to make it a routine, but it shouldn't just be part of the routine. It should be
Right.
a true thing every morning. So that's been one of the like, again, as a 32-year-old man who sometimes thinks he has stuff figured out, it's good for me to remember like, no, I am kind, I am
Yeah.
brave. Like we can do hard things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Dude, lately we've been playing Uno, the
Yeah.
card game.
Yeah.
I mean, no exaggeration, Dustin. Probably 30 games a day with
Yeah,
my little boy.
wow.
He's all into it. For Christmas, he got No Mercy Uno. Have you played No Mercy
I've
Uno?
seen it. I haven't
Brother,
played
they
it though.
got plus sixes and plus tens in there, and so he calls them trick cards. Like,
Oh my
like if when
gosh.
the game's over, he like wants to look through everyone's cards. Like, oh, you didn't play all your tricks. Like, what are you doing? I mean, dude, I had a buddy over last night. He lives in New York now, but we were
Okay.
high school best friends, and he came over last night while he was still in town, and we probably played 8 games of No
Yeah.
Mercy Uno last night. And he's like, dude, he's only 5. How did he beat us 6 of the time?
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
cause we play we get some reps in.
Yeah.
So like this family game night, like we try to find different games to play with
Yeah.
them. Like we Connect Four, easiest game in the world, but like the family gets down on some
Oh yeah.
Connect Four,
Yeah.
bro. So just like that idea of like, there's a difference in like intentional and quality time.
Yeah.
Like you hear people say all the time that they want more quality time with their family. We're really big on like all the time that I get to spend with my family is quality time.
Gotcha.
So something as simple as playing Connect Four is a special moment for
Yeah.
us. Even though we do it every day,
Yeah.
it's still a special thing.
That's awesome. So when we moved to the new house, I told Bethany leading up to it, I said, look, I think it was Black Friday. We bought a TV because we knew we were going to need one.
Yep.
I said, we're not taking out the box for at least, it started at 2 weeks and it went to a month. I was like,
That's a blessing.
we're
Dude.
just going to, and we don't watch TV, Bethany and I. But the kids still wake up, hey, I want to watch a devotion or watch
Yep.
this. And, then in the afternoons, if they're getting tired or whatever, because we're homeschool. So
Yep.
after schoolwork, lunch, hey, I want to just watch a show for a little bit, or it might be 4 o'clock. I want to watch. And so it's like, look, we're just not even going to put a TV up. So it's not even an option,
Yeah.
And it's been great because we bought, knowing that for Christmas, we got, like 4 new board
There
games.
you
And so like we got Battleship, Guess Who, Sorry, and then they also got Catan Junior and Clue
go. Oh,
Junior,
bro, I love some
which was
Catan.
Clue Junior has been great
Okay.
because I didn't even put that on their list, but my she's like a sister to me. She's technically our cousin. She found it,
Okay.
but it's set up like in a classroom. So there's 2 levels. The first level, you actually work together to solve the mystery.
Okay.
And it's who accidentally took, you can do sports equipment, art supplies, snack or whatever, who accidentally left the playground with it in their book sack. So it was like
Okay.
no one was stealing it. It was just accidentally in their book
Yeah.
sack. And then level 2 is competitive,
Okay.
and it is who set off the volcano in the science class. And so it's
Okay.
what class were they supposed to be in? What material did they put into the volcano to launch it, and then who actually did it.
Yeah.
So it's not like murder mystery or anything.
Of course, yeah.
So it's age appropriate.
Family appropriate, yeah.
Exactly. But they really like that one as
Okay.
well.
I'm gonna take a note of that. My dad got the kids Operation
Yeah.
for Christmas, and you're like, I played Operation as a kid, brother. It didn't get no easier. No,
Oh
it's
no,
just,
it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, and that one I think is a little bit above them. I mean, 5 and 4.
Because of the motor skills. Yeah.
Yeah, they enjoy it, but they
Right.
get frustrated. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yep.
I
I
think-
remember my older, she's like,
Yeah.
stop.
One of the little bud, the first time he did it, my little boy kind of looked at me like, what did you get me,
Yeah,
dude?
yeah.
What? Anyway.
Yeah.
Clue Junior. I'm gonna have to get Clue Junior.
Yeah,
And
it's-
I didn't know they had Catan Junior.
They
either.
do, they do,
My
and it
wife
was-
and I, we play some Catan. It's been
Oh.
a while, but we're a big fan.
Us too.
Yeah,
Us as
we'll
well.
have to hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a throwdown.
Yeah, we'll still be friends after, no matter what happens.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But in the game,
Well, no, listen, my wife and I. So when we first started dating, we would play Connect Four on text messages. So
Oh, really?
they had
Okay.
the little white circle emojis. We
Yeah.
would set the board up, and then let's just say she went first. Well, she would delete one of the ones at the bottom, and if her color was red, she put the red circle,
what?
and my turn was the blue one. And listen, bro, the first time we
I've
ever
never
played
done
this,
that, by the way.
dude, it's a blast. Because again, we were in college, we didn't see each other every day. We both
Yeah.
had full-time jobs while in school. I'm in my second last year of college. I'm really trying to get out.
Yeah.
So it's just a way for us to stay connected. And again, a year of long distance, we did that. We would have the Chess with Friends app, and we played chess against each other. Well, dude, the first time we played Connect Four, and this is early in the dating. So again, 2 weeks into dating my wife, I blew my entire knee out playing
Right.
basketball. ACL, patella, meniscus. When I stood up, my knee was just hanging there. And so I was bedridden for a couple weeks after surgery. I moved back in with my dad just for the recovery part of it. And so we were playing that, and she just made a bad move. Didn't realize that I had 3 in a row. I got the 4th in a row, and she just didn't respond for hours, dude. For hours. And I'm gonna text her hey, are you really we're dating, so we
Yeah.
know about first argument, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just no response, dude.
No.
And again, I'm talking about hours, and I'm laying in bed, I can't move. I'm like, did I
So you're just watching, just waiting.
did I screw this up already?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so she came over that night. She brought food. She's like, hey, I'm really sorry. I'm competitive. So even now, 10 years in, we kind of have to be a little careful sometimes about what we play.
That is
Can't
hilarious.
be a whole lot of trash talk. I mean, I'm competitive too. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So Catan can get a little
Yep.
dirty sometimes, but we figured it out. We can still be friends
Oh,
after.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the best is when you're doing Catan and, say there's 4 of us and my wife and I, she needs something and we don't agree on a trade. She's like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Are you not? I'm like, you're going to win. I'm not trading you.
Look, we're playing a game right now. We're competitors.
Exactly.
Right now, we're not married. Right now, we're playing a game.
Yeah, it's look, we might be married, but I'm not just giving you the game.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, I mean, what lesson are we teaching the kids if I let
Exactly.
you win?
Exactly.
That's
I
so
love
funny.
that.
We're big into the board games, dude.
Yeah.
Again, it's just an easy way. Again, it's how we grew up, right? We didn't
Yeah.
have these. I'm holding this
Right.
while we're talking. We didn't have these growing
That's
up.
right.
So we played a ton of board games growing up.
Yeah.
I want to make sure my kids have that same kind of connection. And
Yeah.
again, my little boy loves chess. He's
That's cool.
really kind of know he'll play on my phone, but he plays on the easy mode. But he knows every piece, what they're called,
Oh,
how
that's
they
good.
can move and stuff.
Yeah.
he's really into
I've
that.
been wanting to teach my oldest. She's 7 now, but we just haven't spent enough time
Yeah.
working through. We've done it here and there, but
Yeah.
not enough repetition to kind of let it sink in where we can go. Like she's great at checkers,
Right.
but the chess we're still working on.
So
So.
I play every day. I'm terrible at it. Like when I tell people I play, like, oh, we should play against each other. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not fun. Like I haven't gotten any better at it, but I just love playing.
Yeah.
And then the other tradition I wanted to talk about. There's 2 more, man. We started this last year. Every Saturday after Halloween, we call it a Christmas Saturday. And
Okay.
so what we do is Christmas movie, Polar Express,
Oh, heck
Elf,
yeah.
whatever it is. We get a bunch of snacks, popcorn. My wife will bake a little something, and we have like one of those modular couches. So
Yep.
we put it up. We call it the couch bed. We put it to where all 4 of us are laying on the couch bed, watching TV, eating snacks, and it's just like a way to kind of get into some Christmas spirit. Because I feel like
Oh.
Christmas spirit is hard to find now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so trying to recreate that kind of magic. And so, dude, every Saturday we're on the couch watching some Christmas movie.
Okay.
To the point where like the kids are like, "Can I pick the movie this time?" It's like, "No, I'm not watching Paw Patrol Christmas, dude."
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But that's like a really cool one that she brought up. And then one of the ones that probably means the most to me, like being from Louisiana, we are Saints fans, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so every Saints game, we watch
Okay.
it at my dad's house.
Okay.
Call it Chicken Sundays. We'll pick up either like Popeyes or Cane's or something.
Okay.
So as my dad, my stepmom, when my brother lived here, him and his wife would come over, me and my wife and the kids, and we're all sitting in my dad's living room, eating chicken and watching the Saints
Oh,
game.
that's cool.
And it's really funny now because like Bennett's to the point where he understands like, oh no, the Saints lost again.
Again.
And it's to the point like he'll look at my dad, he calls him Pop. He goes, "Pop, they lost," and he's like, "Dude, hold on." Like
Yeah,
like we had
Let
a
me
few,
know when they win.
We had
Yeah.
a few years, dude, like
Yeah.
before your time, but like don't expect it to be
Yeah.
anything but this.
That's right.
But it's just a good way. Again, like my wife and I both work. The kids are in all their activities: tennis, dancing, art, soccer, whatever they're into at the time. I think my wife and I also try to not lose like our activities and our stuff. Like I enjoy playing golf with my friends. I used to train jujitsu. My wife does her book clubs. Like all these different things that we still want to enjoy as well to make
Yeah.
sure that we stay who we are. It's really hard to carve out time for family time. You kind of realize like, oh, I didn't talk to my dad in 4 days. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that idea of like every Saints game, at least we know 14 to 16 weeks out of the year,
Yeah.
we're gonna be able to spend some time together.
Yeah. Got
And it's-
that Sunday.
Yeah, and so that's probably one. I didn't realize again until I said to my wife, like, "What are some of our traditions?" And she was like, "Dude, Chicken Sunday? Are you kidding me?" I was
Yeah,
like, that's
yeah.
a good point. That is a tradition, and so
That's awesome.
I just think it's fun now. Like we have pictures of like my dad. He's holding a drumstick from Popeyes. Eloise when she's like newborn, watching the Saints. Bennett sitting right next to him. Like
Yeah.
those are that's a picture. That's a memory we'll be able to hold forever.
That's right.
Hopefully, my dad's a young man, like mid to late 50s. Hopefully, we'll get
Oh,
another
yeah.
20, 30 years of some Chicken Sundays
Chicken
and just to be able to see the
Sundays.
kids grow up, being able to do that with them
That's
is
awesome.
really special, man.
I love that, dude.
Yeah, man.
Those are some great traditions. I always ask that because it's a bit selfish because I
Yeah.
want to say, okay, let me see what we can,
Well,
steal for our
that's
family.
why you're in that chair. That's on this
That's
chair.
it.
You're here to
That's-
learn, baby.
That's it. I love it, man. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate the last thing. If you want to share with everyone how they can connect with you, if they want to reach out,
Yeah.
and, get in touch.
So I mean, I have social media. I guess I use LinkedIn a lot. I really do. That's probably been the social media I've
Yeah.
used the most. But any social media, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, just Timothy Miguez. Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I got,
Man, well, I
man.
appreciate it. Thank
Brother,
you for
I
taking the
appreciate
time.
you, man. This was fun.
It was. Thank you
Yeah,
so
man.
much. And for all of y'all listening, thank y'all for sticking with us through this conversation. Remember, no matter what you're walking through, to continue moving forward, rooted in your purpose, living on purpose, and walking with purpose. Until next time.